Welcome back to another episode of UltrasXI podcast. I'm Joe.
And I'm Alex. And guys, before we get into today's episode, if you can all please check out UltrasXI, UltrasXI.com. We got some new merch on there. We got a couple new designs coming out in the future with our new GOAT collection. I don't know if anybody's checked it out yet, but you know, I'm very proud and I'm very excited about it because I'm still waiting for mine to come in, but I honestly I really need you guys to check this out because it's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
Joe,
I won't shut up about it.
Like I keep
Al
telling
really
him about
doesn't
this thing,
shut
and I have a little surprise for Joe. I'm gonna do it on my own. It's gonna be part of the GOAT collection.
He's gonna do a Totti thing.
No,
for
it's
sure.
not. It's not Totti. It's not Totti.
He is the greatest of all
I'm obviously, it's a GOAT collection, Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a coulda, woulda, shoulda been.
Greatest Roma player of all time.
Anyways, before we get into a Roma discussion, guys, check out UltrasXI.com. We appreciate all the support.
We do, but you know who doesn't get any support?
Who?
Juve.
Obviously.
Oh, start with the good transition there, guys.
Joe's transition starting off strong this episode.
I actually do want to just talk about that briefly. I feel like it's an ongoing saga. Well, last week we talked about how they were deducted 15 points. After this weekend, Juve really didn't do themselves any favors.
No.
I'm sorry, Al.
Joe, I woke up for the game.
But
I know.
in saying that, more is being released on this whole topic of Juve. So, Alex, can you please enlighten everybody for us?
I mean, my stance from last week, it still doesn't really change.
Yeah, right.
About the whole thing, and it's just like today. Now they released the documents pretty much to like explain why the 15 points. But even like still, and I thought it was just me when I was reading it first. But I'm seeing all these other accounts on Twitter saying, okay, you know, like there's a bunch of holes in this whole argument that they're making for the reasoning why, and it just doesn't make sense. Like the thing about Arriva Bene, that he signed documents from 2018 to 2021 that, you know, went against what they're getting charged for. Meanwhile, he only came in 2021 or 2020. So how would that even be possible? And they're saying, oh, but the documents were from before, like he signed them after. But so that the documents were just there, not signed or anything. So would that still make them legally use them? Like that's what I don't get. And like reading that, I was like, okay, like it's there. Everything. The more and more I read about it, you just see that the corruption's there.
Yeah.
And it's so fucked, man. Because again, like I just think like the FIGC, like you're going after your own. Like they're part of your league. Like they're one. Like I'm sorry, if the last 10 years take Juve out of the equation, Serie A would have been worse than the French league because Milan wasn't doing anybody any favors. Neither was Inter. Roma, I mean, out of those years, you probably would have seen Roma winning it because that's when Roma had like the best team I've seen.
It's true.
Like that's realistic.
What team
that
do you
and
know
Napoli.
that finishes in second place with what do we have that one year? I think we had like 92
Yeah, like 92 points. And we had like 104.
Crazy. We set the record for most consecutive wins.
Yeah.
Like
we had 102. Like I mean, at the end of the day, Roma, like that in itself is a Scudetto in its own because like you're not going to beat a team that has 102 points in the season.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. No matter unless you're just on par with them, like no matter how good of a season you're going to have, you're not coming close. But Juve wasn't there. Roma's probably taking it. But again, like, would that carry the league? Would Roma and whatever teams were there?
No.
Would they make any impact in Champions League? I know Juve, we didn't win anything in those 9 years, and I mean, Juve definitely should have taken advantage of the teams that they had. They got unlucky because they came against, I mean, fucking the best Real Madrid team, the best Barca team. But hey, no excuses. But you take that Juve team out, and there's nothing. Like the league would have died, and now it's just it's like they're literally trying to get rid of them.
See, now, the only thing I will say is I feel like there's like an ongoing trend. And I know this is going to sound like this is maybe me being like devil's advocate here, but I always feel like it's Juve in the spotlight for some sort of thing. Now, a lot of people could see it as they're trying to, like, it's an attack on Juve. But then there's also that certain like group of people that are turning around and saying, no, it's just Juve. Juve are these con artists. They've been con artists through their history, blah, blah, whatever. I had this conversation actually sometime last week with one of my buddies. And he was saying, like, with everything that's going on with Juve, this whole scandal with the finances, blah, 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 whatever, this goes to show that Serie A needs actually like a huge revamping, and they should genuinely look into, just like the Premier League did back in the early 2000s, late 90s, how they separated from the Football League and started the Premier League. You know, get like the founding teams, whatever, and then get like certain teams from different regions and build a new league. And I look and like honestly with Serie A, like you take a couple of the Seven Sisters as they call them, and then you get like the biggest team from the south, biggest team from here, blah blah blah, whatever, and then you make your own league. Now I'm not going to take credit for that idea because somebody said it to me, but I've been thinking about that, and it is completely true, because at this point, apparently there's a rumor that JP Morgan is willing to invest 1 billion euros. That's great. But where's it gonna go? At this point, I honestly look at something like that and I see it not even helping out Italy.
You would see nothing changes the teams, but the FIGC, all the people working there would be richer.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just see some sort of corruption happening there as well then. Because it's like there's an ongoing trend. It's always in Italy. There's some sort of corruption, right? So it's like, do we really trust anyone with that kind of money? Yeah. Right? So I just think with this whole Juve thing, and there's more stuff that's coming out to light. Apparently they're facing another 15-point
thing. But even
deduction.
Now even Milan's being investigated too. Even more now because now apparently like the Elliott management, when they sold it to Redbird, some of the people like the investors and stuff that were involved with Elliott didn't know about the sale.
Yeah.
So now like they're doing a whole investigation and like why but look what you open with this. Now you just put more it's not good attention on the league. You're making nobody want to come here. Nobody want to stay here. So what benefit? Like I don't get why. And they're just gonna. And the thing is, that's what I hate is that it's gonna go blamed on Juve, and everyone's just gonna blame Juve.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, I get it.
You guys were like the first team that was proven guilty.
The only team being targeted.
Yeah. No. And listen, I'll be the first to admit I think this is a terrible thing for the whole league.
Yeah.
Because now you open up a can of worms and. Every team does it.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's not Juve doing it to the league. It's the league doing it to everybody.
Yeah.
Juve is just who's in the spotlight and who they're going to put the face of all of it.
And that's what I mean. Like
Juve did whatever they did. But again, like I said last week, every team in every league does it. Just the league, the people who run the league, they're smart. They're not going to expose their own and ruin everything.
Yeah. And that's what it comes down to. Like you look and like, again, you're going to look me in the eye and tell me, every league is so good financially that they don't do this kind of stuff. No, everybody does some sort of falsifying with bookkeeping.
Especially after COVID.
Yeah.
Dude, a lot of teams got fucked.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of teams
some of the biggest teams.
Barca
is still struggling.
Barca was $1 billion in debt.
Barca is still doing all this. Yeah, exactly.
Fairy dust.
And that's
wiped away because of a
that's
Spotify
my thing,
deal.
right? Like you look at in Italy, you're opening up this can of worms, but you realize every single team does it. So now you need to investigate every single team, all their transfers from 2010 and on, because that's when they cite Juve for all their fraudulent stuff from 2010 and on. So at that point, then you're gonna look at Roma. Roma's selling Bertolacci to Milan for 25 mil. I always made the joke, oh yeah, we just sold the Romagnoli for 50 mil because like he was worth the 25 mil. But Bertolacci wasn't worth 25 mil.
Yeah.
He came off a bang average season with Genoa and was maybe worth 10 mil.
Yeah.
But we got 25. Is there not something fishy going on there?
That's what I mean.
So
there always is.
Like that's what I mean. You have to go back
other.
And this is just this investigation is something that realistically would never end. And every single team within the league would get penalized.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if fast forward like in 2 months that they just decide to stop. Because they realize, wow, like we might have bit off way more than we could chew.
Exactly.
And we can't penalize every team. Because then the league's just going to fold.
Exactly.
And at that point, Super League will come into play, and Agnelli's going to look and say, fuck you guys, I have more money here anyways.
Honestly, dude, I'm praying more and more each day that the Super League happens and the original rumors, what they were saying before comes out, and they all leave the league. Because honestly, I'm so done with Serie A and the guys who run it.
Yeah.
It's a fucking joke, man.
Yeah.
Like, at least, like, invest the money into the league how other leagues are. Take TV deals and don't be an idiot. Don't be trying to just keep all this money for yourself, but really you're making fucking nothing. And stop targeting your own teams.
Well, that's why. Like, that TV deal, that deal with JP Morgan, I really don't see it happening. No. I'm not, like, it was a rumor that they want to invest that money into the league, but, again, I don't see that happening at all.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening, and I still see the Serie A teams remaining broke.
But see, I think that... After seeing that, I think that has... I have a feeling with that JP Morgan, it has something to do with this whole Juve case.
I agree with that.
Because JP Morgan was the investor of the Super League.
I was going to say, I do see
Who was the face of the Super League? Agnelli. He's trying... Right now, dude... I get it now, and like I'm not really looking at the minus 15 points yet because whether it's going to stay or not, who knows? But I just, like, I think this court's being escalated, and they're working every day, and I feel like something's going to come out. Like, something's going to happen out of this, and I think...
Yeah.
Points-wise, I think we're going to get them back. I genuinely
You
do.
think so? Yeah.
I think so. I think we'll get them back. You still have to worry because I mean, like Agnelli said after the game, like now we have to win every game because we can't afford to get relegated. If we lose points again, we might get relegated. Yeah. So we can't afford that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you can't just fucking we'll get them back and play like that. You have to play like what? Hey, right now we're in relegation. We have to win. We're in relegation battle.
It's true.
Play like that.
And you know what? I'm actually kind of surprised. I mean, I'm not kind of surprised, but I am kind of surprised Juve isn't trying to capitalize on a man on Roma that's deciding to freeze himself out of the team.
Joe, I don't think this is
Zaniolo.
the right. I don't think this is the right time for us to make signings.
Well, he's a Juve fan. He only wants to stay in the league.
Well, that's
so.
But I mean, I feel like he's kind of making that obvious with not accepting the Milan, not accepting.
No, he accepted Milan.
Who offered him in the Prem?
Bournemouth.
And even apparently Leeds now was coming in on him.
Yeah, Leeds wanted him,
but he already said he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, he only wants to stay in Italy. And
Juve.
the only team that offered in Italy is Milan, but Milan also said they can't give the 30 to 35 mil that Roma's demanding.
Yeah.
And
so he's waiting out for Juve.
I see, that's the thing. I don't even know if it's Juve. Apparently he agreed to terms with Milan.
Balls.
But it fell through because Milan said it's going to be a loan with an option to buy, and Roma's like, no, get him the fuck out.
You know who else signed a contract with personal terms with Milan? And still not playing for them.
Ooh.
Depay, 5 years ago.
Depay,
they were going to sign him.
Who else? Ziyech is supposedly coming.
He's in Paris today, signing for PSG. But no, Ziyech is coming.
See, I actually have a question. Do you think that any team in the Premier League could afford the most expensive player within Serie A? So, let's say Leao.
And you're saying any team?
Any team in the Premier League. And I think, value-wise, I think Leao's worth the most.
Yeah.
So, do you think any team in the Prem could match that 130 mil or whatever Milan is demanding for him?
Without a doubt.
Yeah?
Without a doubt.
So you're saying relegation side, Everton.
Yeah.
Let's just say, yeah?
West Ham, yes.
Okay, West Ham we know has money.
Yeah,
but
the relegation
how about Bournemouth? Do you think Bournemouth, Fulham?
Yes.
They could come in.
Just not even because they're obviously they don't have the Saudi owners or whatever rich owners. Mm-hmm. But they're still getting money, a fucking 100 mil just from being in the Prem every season.
That promotion alone, if you get promoted from the championship to the Prem.
They're getting good money, so that's why they still could afford it. Instead of imagine even if everybody in the league is getting that kind of money, then you would see you would start seeing those random maybe older guys going to these small ass teams. And you're like, holy shit, and not Fabregas going to Como when he's 49 years old.
Yeah, sure. That's just vacation.
That's just,
for him. You think he gives a shit, that guy?
Go look at pictures of Cuomo, and then you're gonna tell me that he's still playing because he wants to play.
That guy just wants to live his best life, and that's honestly a poor thing.
Yeah.
But no, I was having this discussion over the weekend, and I agree. I think any team in the Prem,
even that anybody can buy them.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. As much as everyone wants to say, it just becomes a matter of is Bournemouth desirable to go to for a guy like Leao? No, obviously not.
Yeah.
So you'll never see them trying to make that kind of move. But I do think Bournemouth, any of those teams, could afford the most expensive player in the league. And that just goes to show you the levels. It's sad that a lot of people will say Ligue 1 is a farmer's league.
Yeah.
But a lot of those players, teams can't afford. Okay, well, mainly on PSG.
No.
Could anybody afford Mbappe? No, probably not. But I'm just saying, any of those top teams have a player or whatever that people can't afford.
Yeah.
Whereas in Serie A, everybody's affordable.
Yeah.
Even the most expensive guy is affordable in the Prem. Mm-hmm. And it goes to show the power they have, the financial pull, the TV deals, the marketing they did.
That's what I mean.
The Prem is the Super League.
There's the teams that we all know, the Newcastle, the City, Liverpool has money, but they don't really.
They don't.
That's the thing. People are but Liverpool don't spend money, bruh. They spent how much on Van Dijk?
They spent how much on Alisson?
On what's his name? My God, Darwin.
How
much on Alisson? They spend money. They just don't do it like City all at once. And
yeah. Or Chelsea right now.
Chelsea, you're noticing it because the guys every week. It's wait. Did they sign? Oh, they signed
Chelsea's
him. Oh, they signed another guy.
Enzo Fernandez again.
I know, dude. How much he spent? How much was 600 million in 2 transfer windows?
Yeah,
that's insane.
But they could do that.
Serie A, not a team. Serie A hasn't spent 600 mil in a transfer window in I think the last 5 transfer windows in total.
This January transfer market, how many new players have been bought by the league itself? Serie A.
For what Serie A? I probably count on 2 hands.
That's what I mean. Like, and they're probably all loans.
Yeah,
with an option or a dry.
The money
loan.
spent. I think Serie A had it was 70 mil.
Half the money's
for
going into
January.
investigating Juve.
Yeah.
It's not even going into anything.
It was 70 mil, I think, in Serie A, and then in the Premiers they were at 800 mil.
Yeah.
Spent already in January.
But
how are you going to compete?
No, you can't.
It's
you
fucking
can't compete.
impossible, dude.
You can't compete. But speaking of the Prem,
That's why the Super League has to happen.
I want to actually give a special mention to Brighton. Only because of Bobby D.
Zerbi.
And I love De Zerbi with everything in
Dude.
me. Because the way he plays, his tactic, everything about Bobby D, iconic.
Before he went there at the beginning of the season when we were doing shit,
Yeah.
and we were like Allegri out, Allegri gonna get sacked. When we were linked with him, everyone was like, "Oh, no, he's not. I don't think he's good enough."
Brilliant. He's
Dude,
brilliant.
I think, man, I fucking love him.
Yeah.
dude. If he came, I don't know, just
You saw his
his play
you saw
style.
you saw his style on Sassuolo, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, but Sassuolo, they always develop these coaches, but they're like a fad coach, like a Di
I
Francesco,
thought
like
the
a
same thing.
Dionisi, like
I'm not gonna lie. I
a
thought the
lot
exact same.
of these guys, they go to a bigger team or somewhat bigger than Sassuolo, and they kind of flop because it's stagnant.
Yeah.
But with De Zerbi, you knew that there was a potential behind him because out of all the Sassuolo coaches, he knew how to attack very well tactically.
Yeah.
Attack very well tactically. And he also knew how to defend. And look at him right now with Brighton and what he's doing. There's a huge resurgence.
Yeah.
Mitoma. Nobody even heard of this guy, Mitoma. De Zerbi comes, starts playing this guy on the wing, and he's actually just a god.
When he first went there, they didn't start off too good, right?
Who?
De Zerbi.
No,
Right.
well, I'm pretty
I
sure
think
the first couple of games they
lost,
draw.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I was
sure.
gonna say they
he was
drew a
0-3
couple
or
games.
something.
Yeah,
He was always off to a rocky start, but dude, ever since then, man, he's picked up, and dude, he really looks like he's getting this Brighton team
dude.
going.
Look, they get rid of Trossard, who was probably playing their best. He was probably playing their best football there. Get rid of him, and it's like they didn't even skip a beat. Still,
Yeah.
you know, everybody else is picking up the slack, and you see the way they play. It's like a fresh style in that league. You know, it's something different. Now, do I think Brighton will finish top 4? They could. They honestly could. They're in 6th place right now.
They can
They're doing
keep up,
well,
I think,
but
with
I
Newcastle, man.
Yeah, I think there's going to be they have to have that special effort in order to finish in that top 4. But I do see them finishing for sure, in that top 7. I'd even argue
I'd say
6,
top
where they
6.
are right now in 6.
Yeah.
They'll
I would
stay
say
there.
top 6. I can see them finishing in this season, man. They really have a good
Yeah, dude, they give
not a good team. They just have the right mentality.
yeah.
And just a coach that just his style that he brings and everything.
It's
he's
fresh.
he's got these guys playing unreal football right
Yeah,
now.
I like that kid Matoma. He literally came from nothing, and
no idea who he was.
I honestly when he was 19, he rejected an offer to actually play soccer, and then he started going to school, and he made a thesis on dribbling, and he that was his whole thing, whatever, and he put cameras on different soccer players on their eyes to see where they're looking at when they're dribbling. And he said the best dribblers were the ones that weren't looking at the ball or anything like that. They were looking at their opponent. And you see it now with the way he moves. He loves a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Look at that goal against Liverpool yesterday. Was it yesterday? 2 days?
No,
yesterday, I think.
What day is today? Today's Monday.
Today's Monday.
Yeah.
So I think it was yesterday. Yeah. Dude, all in one fluid motion. He fakes a shot but controls it in the air and then hits it on the volley still. He's such a good player, and stuff like that. That's
Can you see him becoming a special player that's a wild let's just say a whatever like a Salah or a Mane of that.
I don't know. See, that's the thing. I do think he's a good player, but I think it's De Zerbi getting the most out of him. I see him being those players that he doesn't put up crazy numbers like a Salah or a Mane, but I see him contributing and always helping out.
And being just a consistent guy.
Yeah, just being that consistent guy.
So
you know what to expect.
Instead of a Stando, you're more of a consistent kind of.
He stands out because he's on Brighton right now.
Yeah.
But you put him on a top,
And
no offense, Brighton, I am praising you.
Not
still,
everything, but not everything's going to be going through
yes.
him or
yeah.
He's the main guy. It's the play style is going to change.
Yeah, you put him on
change
let's say an Arsenal. He'll still do well, but he won't stand out there. He'll still do well enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just one of those players that it's actually crazy. I love him. I mean, I hope Roma gets him, but I sincerely doubt.
Why would Joe? He's already in the Prem. He's getting that Prem attention. You think Roma maybe
getting rid of Zaniolo,
when he's past 35?
No,
maybe.
no.
That's not even just for like I'm not sure about Roma. That's when players look at Serie A now.
Well, yeah, it's a retirement home, dude. Zaniolo doesn't want to be there.
It's either a retirement home or a stepping stone. It's one of the two for players.
If you guys haven't realized, I'm very bitter about this whole Zaniolo deal and the whole saga that he's putting Roma through right now.
I don't know if you guys can tell. He's not really showing it as much.
It hurts my heart because I thought the world of him. I thought he was going to be the next special
I said it from day one, man.
I thought he was going to do this.
You
and
knew
like,
it.
you know what? I
You
don't,
knew it, too.
The worst part is I don't resent him as much as I want to resent him. I resent his agent.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes to show the power of an agent. And like everyone's going to look at me and say, oh, Joe, he wants money. He wants this. No, the worst part is it's not even about the money.
No.
Milan literally offered him 2.5 mil a year. Roma has him stuck at 2 mil. That's not that much. Bournemouth offered 5 mil, and he said no to that. But he said yes to Milan's 2.5. So 0.5, that's what separates it. And it's like, dude, come on. Like everybody says it about him. It's just the people he's surrounded by right now are bums. And he should just literally evaluate his future.
Yeah, but
because he's not gonna like. I'm sorry, respectfully to him.
I get the situation, the way he's doing it, but do you think like for him, as an Italian, to get the best out of him, do you think a move for him at this time of his career is the right thing to do?
No.
You think he should stay on
because
Roma?
he's not even playing.
Listen, but staying on Roma, you have to think too. He has Pellegrini, who he's that main guy that they're going
Mr.
through.
Versatile. He does everything.
Like, he's unreal. Like they're gonna continue to go through him. He just controls the game way too good.
Except last week. But yeah,
that's the thing about Pellegrini.
But
Pellegrini has to work on that consistency of every game because you'll see he has those slip ups. Like once in a while that you're like, okay, dude, what the fuck? Like, where's the actual Pellegrini? Look at Cristante out there.
Don't talk about Cristante. But anyways,
then you have Dybala.
Yeah.
Who like he's basically like look at what Zaniolo was doing last year and how good he was playing with Tammy. Mm-hmm. Now look at Dybala, who's doing that. Zaniolo doesn't work with Dybala.
See, but my thing is this, okay? I understand it, and a lot of people are saying it comes down to the fact that they sign. And I think I even said it last year when we were signing Dybala. My biggest concern was, first off, where do you slot Pellegrini? Because he came off such a good season as like that trequartista behind the striker, whatever. So where does he go? Then my next thought was, where does Zaniolo go? Because Zaniolo was playing as the number 9 / that second striker behind Tammy almost. So I thought, like, where does either of them go? One of them is going to be riding Pine, one of them whatever. Now, Mourinho figured out a way to get all of them to work together.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know if it's Zaniolo and Dybala are the same player and they just can't work in unison together. I don't know what it is, but there's levels. Like, Dybala is doing what Zaniolo did, but putting up numbers.
Yeah.
Whereas Zaniolo was trying to do what Dybala did. And I don't look at the numbers too much. I look at their impact. But Zaniolo, when he starts, even from last year, respectfully to him, when he starts, he's either getting a goal or he's doing absolutely nothing. And by the 60th minute, the guy's gassed and can't even function. Or he's coming on as a sub and he's this huge impact player. Yeah. But still, Mourinho defended him, Mourinho whatever. And then this year, I don't know where the sense of entitlement came from him, where it's like, no. The rumor is he's pissed off that he was booed by the fans after the Genoa game. If that's the case, buddy, grow thick skin.
I think this came from Dybala.
It probably did. But that's the thing. There's no truth. Nobody really knows what goes on except the players, right? And it's a sad thing. But with like if that is the case, he's not going to last anywhere.
No.
He thinks going to Milan's going to be better? Buddy, you're in for a rude fucking awakening. Where they're actually a good team, where they actually have a history.
Imagine like, how Dybala felt when he was king shit and then Ronaldo came.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Where in Italy do you expect to go that you'll be worshipped?
Yeah.
Nowhere. Even if like whatever. You go to Juve, you have a bad game, buddy, it's even worse than it is in Roma. Like you think look Roma's bad or whatever it is, you'll be fucking fired.
Juve fans turn quick.
and that's the biggest thing too. Like Roma, they're so patient with him.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get that sort of love and respect and admiration.
Yeah, he doesn't have like that, like not the confidence, because you will lose that and you gotta get it back sometimes, whatever. But you gotta have that thick skin, especially like in Italy, dude. Man. Like they will, like you have again one bad game, and depending on the team you're on, sometimes it's a little bit worse than other times. But
The only way he'll get
torched.
the only way he'll get continuous admiration and continuous love and respect is if he's playing for a team like Sassuolo. Respectfully to Sassuolo, I love them. I love their development, whatever. But that's really it.
Yeah.
Other than that, buddy, grow thick skin, fucking suck it up. Stop being a Playboy bunny and get your head straight. That's it.
See, but now honestly, with Roma, and because they signed Dybala, I do think for him to get the best out of him, because I still want it. Like him and Chiesa, I think, are the future.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
And to get the best out of him, Dybala ruined that. I'm sorry. With Roma.
I'd agree. I would agree with you.
But I wouldn't want to see him yet on a Juve, Inter, Milan.
He's not ready.
I want to see him, and obviously not Lazio, but I'm saying like a Lazio kind of esque. But obviously Lazio, that wouldn't even happen. So
if he did that, then he's for sure
done.
dead.
Like that's just stupid. But like a Napoli, like I think he would do very well on Napoli, and that would help his growth.
Well, see, that's the thing. At the end of the day, the bigger picture for me is his overall growth.
Yeah.
Because he does have that ceiling. Where else does he go within Italy? Because he only wants to stay in Italy.
Yeah.
Where else does he go within
It has to be
Italy
Napoli.
that he could get that growth?
Because with Juve, with other teams, I really don't think. The only one is maybe Milan, because they actually they're in desperate need of a creative player, an attacking midfielder, a right winger, and he can fit in all three of those. So he's kind of good for that.
But even look at
With
Milan
Juve,
now with this bad run of form.
No, that's what I mean.
Everybody's turning on them already.
I know.
It's
you get attacked a lot worse, but I'm saying to play wise and to fit, I think Milan would be his best.
I'd agree with that.
But to get criticized, the best thing that for him would probably be like a Napoli, because Napoli, you can have a shit game, but as long as you do good for the team, they'll fucking love you.
Yeah, as long as you bleed for that.
Osimhen now, he can have 5 games in a row. He'll have bad game, and you think anybody's gonna boo him or anything?
Buddy, that goal he scored against
they're gonna
Roma
make
was
him.
gross.
They're gonna make him like a cake on the street. Don't worry, you're gonna get it. Don't worry, you're gonna be better. You're gonna do better.
Napoli fans were the most racist.
They are, but fuck, man,
and they love Osimhen. You know what? I love that. I'm not saying I condone racism.
No.
But I'm just saying,
dude, it's nice to see, and it's. I hate it because I'm a Juve fan, but I'm genuinely happy. Seeing Napoli celebrate.
Well, hey, fun fact: last time Argentina won a World Cup,
Napoli won.
Napoli won a Scudetto.
I've seen that stat too. I should have took money.
Kind of written in the
beginning of the year.
Yeah, I was gonna say once
once
that World Cup happened, you should have been like, all right, Napoli's winning everything.
Napoli's in, it's locked.
But
does Napoli win the treble though?
Changing subjects here on the topic of what the fuck are you doing in your career? JOAO Cancelo is on Bayern Munich,
brother. When I woke up this morning, I didn't check my phone, and I got a text message in the group chat, and I saw that, and I was like, "Nah." I rubbed my eyes, and I was like, "Okay, no, I'm reading that right."
What the fuck?
I go onto it, dude. What the where? First of all, where did it come from? Why did it come from?
I can't speak. I'm literally just. When I saw that, there was no links to that he was leaving. There was no rumor he was unhappy. There was all this stuff that nothing pointed to JOAO Cancelo leaving. And then all of a sudden, here we go, confirmed. Thanks, Fabrizio Romano. But where? Why? And then
tap
now,
in merchant, man, just tap in.
Oh yeah, for sure. But now you're seeing you go on Twitter, you go on all these newsrooms and shit like that. That's when you start seeing Pep and him were beefing.
Yeah,
and I feel like that is a trend in his career.
Yes.
Saying
you kind of saw it coming, man. At the end of the day, no matter how good his Travella pass is or his fucking goal from outside of the box, just banger, he sucks at defending, and he's a liability. He costed Man City their Champions League last year. They lost in the semis. Last year, one of the goals they conceded was because he can't fucking defend.
Yeah, but where does
And that's where he started getting benched. He started getting frustrated, and that's where him and Pep started beefing. And the same thing happened with Juve. And everyone's like, "Juve's stupid for selling him."
See, Bayern, I understand why. Why would they? Because
Bayern's gonna turn him into a center defensive mid or a center mid. Teams should have,
sick,
because he's not a defender.
Not gonna lie, that would be actually fucking.
He's not
unreal for him
as a midfielder. He can be amazing.
Yeah,
his passing ability, everything, his speed. He's got it for a midfielder. As a fucking defender, he stinks.
He'd only be a good defender if you don't defend.
No, I would trust.
If it's one of those teams that are just forever on the front foot.
I would trust DeCilio more defending. No, I would. Joe defending. If someone's attacking and I have one defender and it's between them two to save my life, I'm taking DeCilio over Joao Cancelo.
You're honestly probably not wrong.
And I wouldn't even rate DeCilio top 500 fullbacks of all time.
DeCilio's actually fucking Remember
but
when
just
he was supposed to be
defending.
Maldini?
Oh yeah, dude, next Maldini.
Still remember
But
that.
defending wise, I would take him over Joao because, dude, he I don't even know how he came up as a fucking, like, it still confuses me how he became a right back.
I just want to know, like, my thing is, like, is this a good deal for Bayern? Because, yeah, okay, I guess it addresses their right back woes. You know, like, because realistically, who do they have on right back?
Are they gonna play him there?
But exactly, because you think about how Bayern is. They made Kimmich, who started off as a right back, a defensive mid.
Yeah.
They made Philipp Lahm, who was a world-class defender. One of the best in the world. One of the best to exist, I'd even top 5, I'd argue, in that right back role. They made him a defensive mid.
Davies a left winger. They made him to a left back.
Exactly. So, I don't know. The question for me is, where does he fit on that team? Is he going to go right back or does he go defensive mid? And is it a good deal? Well, in either perspective, like if you put him right back,
right now it's a loan.
Yes,
it's a loan. They can end up buying him at the end.
Yeah,
but I think honestly, I think Bayern saw something because I think they just can see, like, you know, certain players, like, oh, you know what, they're like with Davies. Okay, this guy here, he's attacker in Vancouver, whatever. This guy here, he could be like a good fullback, and then maybe they have like that kind of thing. And they looked at Joao as like, hey, you know what, maybe this guy, we can make him to like a midfielder or something, whatever, and looked at it like that. Because other than that, it doesn't make sense. Because
my thing is, their mid seems decent enough.
Yeah, but
when you look at them, because they play that 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
They have Kimmich and Goretzka as their two defensive mids.
Yeah.
Who does Joao Cancelo replace there?
Goretzka's been kind of. Both of them have been kind of mid.
Yeah,
ever since they took steroids and won the
but still, like,
Champions League.
Pete Kimmich, who's still young. Pete Goretzka, who's still young. Musiala's there.
Yeah, Musiala is literally like the
Thomas
king.
Muller's irreplaceable because that's a Räumdauer. He's the space interpreter. Where do you can't?
Or maybe they'll play like Joao, like right wing.
That makes sense, I guess. But to me, he's a depth signing. The only place he honestly could start on Bayern Munich is right back.
His option to buy is at like 70 mil, so I don't think the 70 mil is depth.
Think about it, though. Honestly, think about it.
They have to have had a plan, man, to buy him.
No way they just bought him. The only reason why I see him playing is that right back role. Mazraoui's been shambolic since he's joined.
Yeah.
Benjamin Pavard sucks. He's always sucked.
Yeah, he scored that one World Cup
He's
goal.
mid.
I think
He's honestly mid at best. He should have stayed at Stuttgart because that's all he's good for.
Yeah.
Right back is the only spot I could see him playing. And even then, I see, like, after a year or two of having him, they'll be unhappy and they'll get rid of him. Unless he's found a forever home. I don't know. For me, that's the only position that makes sense. You're right mid, you already have Serge Gnabry.
Yeah.
Left mid, you have Leroy Sané. One of them are tired. That front three that they always interchange between, it's always going to be, okay, not always, but like right now, it's always going to be Sané, Muller, and then Gnabry. Yeah. With Musiala slotting in as attacking mid, defensive mid, wherever the hell he wants to play because he's just a god.
Yeah.
Like Bayern, this deal doesn't make sense to me at all.
Unless it was just, Joao had enough of Pep. He went to, because his agent's Jorge Mendes.
Yeah,
no?
obviously.
He went to Mendes and said, hey, find me a new team. I know it's the second last day or the last day of the transfer window. Find me a new team because I don't want to play. I don't want to be here anymore.
That's the rumor that apparently like Joao Cancelo and Pep had a falling out.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. And like I can
Pep
definitely tell you why.
The door's open, you could leave. Yeah. Which, good for you, Pep.
Yeah.
Nobody's bigger than a club. Unless, again, you've been there for like fucking 20 years and you've actually put the team on your back.
You're gonna like an Aguero. Like you're not gonna say that to like a guy like Aguero if he was still playing there.
Exactly. But a guy like Joao Cancelo that you've been there for what, 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah.
You're not bigger than the club, buddy. No. You already got paid. See you later. Get the fuck out.
Exactly. And the whole falling out, like guaranteed, definitely happened because he started getting benched.
Well, yeah, he only had three appearances in 10 games.
And he just stinks, man. He just proved again why. I know Danilo's not world class. I'm not gonna say he is. But look how much better of an impact we're having with Danilo on our team than when we had Joao Cancelo.
Well, it's like that old saying. You'd rather have 11 guys on the pitch that will die for the badge and bleed for it and are like have that good head on their shoulders rather than skilled players sometimes. Yeah. Because those skilled players will be the demise and cause problems.
100%.
Like, like you look at a guy like Danilo, is he the best? No. Yeah. But is he a team player? Yeah, 100%.
He was like, dude, hasn't been on Juve long, but like, dude, he's come out and said, and you could see like the passion he has. Like, it's like this guy who came up with the Juve academy and like he loved Juve his whole life.
I love players like that. That's why like it's like me with Tammy. I'll never bash Tammy even when he's out of form. Why? Because that guy has such a good mentality.
Yeah.
You need players like that have a good mentality that They're out of form, but as long as the team's winning, they're content, they're happy. Now, is it a public thing they're maybe putting on? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
know
still
what?
good enough for me.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to just kind of throw that out there. I mean, like, with Tammy, he sucks because he's on Roma.
Okay, here we go.
But that's where I just want to end things off. I just want to get
But
a little chirp to Roma.
I was going to actually say, just like Joao Cancelo's career with Man City, we're done. Oh, like end of the episode. Like it's over.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to talk
okay.
to you anymore.
was
Now
very-
after that
very-
Tammy,
was very
after that
bad joke.
Tammy comment, that's why I'm saying we're
That was
done.
very. Hey, but you know what? Hey, at least you guys you guys were able to take a picture, nice. You know, after like the Oh, wait,
Yeah,
no.
I don't
Was
understand.
that
I
it
don't
wasn't a
understand.
victory.
I still don't get that, dude.
Dude,
Honestly,
Mourinho kills me.
he's just, and then today,
Mourinho fucking kills
today this guy puts a fucking Instagram story up or a video, whatever, of him laying down listening to Frank Sinatra "My Way," and the caption is, "My staff is working out, but I prefer to do things my way." Okay, like
Dude, Mourinho's such a bust.
he's the definition of I manage my own life.
like I hated him for so long just because when he was on Inter and he was just an arrogant prick. But like, dude, the more
dude,
and more
he
and more I
buzzes me the
see him
fuck
like
up.
him and like just the more like he's such a funny guy, man. He
No,
just
dude,
doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he genuinely
doesn't
Him
give
and
a
Roma are
fuck.
such a good fit for that
Yeah.
reason because like Roma fans are just here for vibes.
Yeah.
We're here for
Good
vibes
vibes.
and small victories.
Yeah. Good time, not a long time.
Yeah, exactly. We're just
I feel
here.
you.
We're
I
the
feel
sleeping giant. What's Mourinho right now? A sleeping giant.
It is,
Because
man.
he used to be huge.
Because we're in Europa League this year.
Yeah, okay.
You have a Roma final.
I wouldn't talk to you.
Why?
I wouldn't be able to talk to you.
I wouldn't care if Roma. I wear a Roma jersey if you guys.
No,
won.
you know, if you guys win though, that's pretty crazy.
I wear-
Automatic Champions League.
You wouldn't wear a Juve jersey if you won.
No.
I'd wear a Roma jersey if you guys won. Because do that right now. If it's Juve Roma final, whoever wins, the other guy has to wear the other jersey.
Saw it here first, guys.
Hey, if it happens, it happens. We'll see.
I'm Eddie Mush, so none of that's happening. Both teams are getting knocked out next round. You heard it here first.
Thank you guys. If you haven't already, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at UltrasXI. And thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week. Ciao.
See you later.